So I thought I would share with you 50 ways to ignite your creative spark. And the first one on the list is to change your environment. Change your location. So we are preparing for Hurricane Helene here in Florida. And as you can see, the winds are starting to pick up a little bit. And I needed to just start to reset my creativity. And so when I started looking up, doing some research on it, what could I do? And the first thing that popped up the list to me was to change your location, change your environment. It could be a room in the house, it can be going outside, and even though it's a little humid here today, I had to just pop outside and just get some sunshine and fresh air. Absolutely thrive on fresh air and sunshine. And this is so deceiving because by 6 o'clock tonight, it's about 2 o'clock here now, and it's going to be a completely different story. So I'm going to wait and then give you an update on my location as the storm approaches. And this is another great way because it just refreshes my mind and helps me where I'm not always in creating mode, always in making mode. You need to be in a refreshing mode. So it was a little too humid outside, so I had to come back inside because I cannot take the heat and humidity. And I just need a change. So I thought, well, while I will walk around and talk to you, then I can talk about this creative ways and how to ignite your creative spark again. And it's just something so simple. Who would think that all you have to do is change your location? Take a walk, take a drive in your vehicle, go into a different room, sit and look out the window. I find that is always great for my creativity and just to get the cobwebs out. Okay, we are going to take a little ride now. So I'm changing locations again. Okay, so now I am driving, so everybody's safe. My husband is in the passenger seat here with me. Okay, something hit the vehicle. Just a minute. Oh boy, always something. He forgot to put the ladder. Ever since the stroke, things are definitely different. Okay, pay attention, making sure nothing's coming. And I always go extremely slow because I never know when somebody's going to come out of their driveway or animal or something like that. Okay, so now you get to follow along and see what the weather's like here before the hurricane gets here. Trying to get the camera adjusted a little bit better, so hold on a minute. There we go. Okay, so we keep getting an update and it tells us that it's not supposed to get here until about 6 with the rain in our area, but now the wind is definitely significantly picking up. What time would you think it is? About 2:30ish?
Yep.
Okay. And so, but I just needed to get out of the house. I said, you know, it's going to be a not really stressful night, but I mean, when you have all this wind and rain, you know, 50 mile an hour and then gusts at 75 and then heavy downpour rain, and it kind of makes it a little bit difficult for us to sleep. So at any rate, here we go. And I want to get a good view. Oh yeah, boy, that was a good view right there. I'm going to to go around the block again, and then behind me, whew, I mean, it is like very, very cloudy. It's coming in on the west coast. We're on the east coast. And my friend in Lake County, we're in Volusia County, and she's already getting very intense, heavy rainfall. But you're seeing the trees, the wind, little leaves coming down. Here comes the mailman. Huh. I didn't think there was any mail today. By Joe, they are. They are delivering. We didn't think they were delivering. Back around the corner. This is a great way to ignite your creative spark, is just to change locations, change the scenery, and just get your mind off of whatever's been on your mind. And then when I get back to the house, I'm going to finish up an Etsy order with you and get that in the mail. I don't know if I'll make it in time before the mailman gets here, but we're going to give it a whirl. Okay, so we are going to now make a little mini scripture journal, because now that change of scenery, environment, location has sparked and ignited my creative spark. So I am going to show you my process, and I feel so much better. It's like I have had such a load of stress on me lately, and this is just absolutely exactly what I needed to do to unstress myself, but also to get my creative spark back flowing. And if you know what it's like going through stress, it is not an easy thing. All right, so what I usually like to do, I cut my piece of cardstock, and I love this piece here on the end, so I'm hoping that this will be enough of it left over. So I'm going to just go ahead and go all the way down here to this corner, and then I leave extra on the other end so that then, actually I need to come in a little bit. So when you fold it, you want to glue it, but then you want to fold it, wait a few seconds, and then fold it, because it will move on you and then you'll be short. The paper will be too short. So first thing I do is I'm going to glue, and I come in about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. I like to go down the center so that that doesn't lift up on me. And this is a pre-made little journal. I have made them myself, you know, with my own papers and all that kind of thing, but I found it's just a lot of extra work, so just buying the little pre-made journals, and it's still cost effective for me. Okay, so lay one side down first, as you see me doing, and just give that first side an opportunity to set up, and just, you know, look at it top and bottom, make sure your paper's lined up, the glue is still wet enough so that you can, gives you a little bit of wiggle time. And then the glue over here is still, we have plenty of glue so that it's not going to dry up on me. And I love to use the Aleene's tacky glue. And I buy mine off of Amazon. And I purchase a gallon, and then I buy the 4 ounce with this little narrow tip. I love this. And then I buy the 16 ounce bigger bottle, and then we just refill those. Okay, so now this is definitely, so then what I like to do is I bring this paper up over, and then I just crease it with my hand, bring it down, and then smooth it out. So I have done this multiple ways, and this seems to work the best so far. Now, generally, I get a piece of wax paper and I put it in there. I can't remember if my wax paper is in here or in the other room. Since I brought my sewing machine here to the dining room table, and then I usually do my shipping packaging here as well because the table's bigger. My craft room table's not big enough. Okay, so open this up. Okay, so it didn't glue to the pages. That's all I need to check. Do the same thing back here. Okay, perfect. Didn't glue. No excess glue. And then I lift it up. Now I can come in here and just finger press this back cover to the paper. Looking good. And then turn it around and do the same thing here. Just finger press it. And then now when I close it, this edge here and this edge here are very, no wrinkling, no creasing, because that was a problem that I was running into sometimes. But I found if I do it that way, glue one side first, press it, allow this seam here to really take hold, and then lay it flat and pull that next piece over instead of opening the whole thing up and gluing it down. That's what I used to do, and I would always get a crease here. But now, since I started doing it like this, I have been able to eliminate that crease. And then if you see, there's just a little bit of overage here, and then this overage here, but now I can come in there and I can easily cut that, and this little piece here I will use on the front now to decorate here, and this is going to be an adorable journal. So this will be available in my Etsy shop under the mini scripture journal, and this will go to the next customer who orders the journal. So today is Thursday, September, I don't even know, 25th is it? Whatever day Hurricane Helene is hitting Florida. And because I make these to order. They are made to order because I just love having to, come up with my creative, whatever I want to do at the time. And so, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to decorate the cover. I'm going to finish this off. I just trim it right there. And then now I trim this side over here. Okay. And then this piece, I'm going to trim it down onto this little, it's like a flower and garden seed label is what it's supposed to be, So I'm going to trim it down and then that will be on the cover. But before I do that, I am going to cover the inside piece here and then the back with this adorable coordinating complementary paper. All right, so I'm just going to put that in there like that, and then we're just going to open the flap. And then here is where you want to be careful. Don't get too close to that paper. You just want to be where that piece will adhere, but you don't want it to stick to the other pages there. So that's another little tip that I have learned. Make sure, since this is a directional paper, so I'm going to lift up this and then I'm going to gently push that in there so that it's right up against that edge and make sure it's lined up top and bottom. Okay, pretty good. Just make sure it still closes properly. And then this is where I usually like to have my wax paper, but I'm going to use this here since I don't have a piece. I just like to have something that slides easily. Wax paper, you know, slippery. Something that slides easily. So this just happened to be right here, and it works perfectly. And then I go across the center, because I know I put glue across the center. Okay. I'm going to see if I can, if that has got any wiggle room left at all to it, just a smidgen. It just moved on me a little tiny smidgen. Okay. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to close that. And now I'm going to just go ahead and trim this. And hopefully it should be the perfect size for the back cover. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. And it's just a hair over, which is perfect. And we're also going to make a little cluster out of fabric and lace. I love to put a cluster on these. I think they just add such character and charm to them. I love these things. And if you're new to my channel, I love vintage country. So that's what you'll find. A little bit of shabby, but cottage core definitely. That has always been my vibe. Okay, so I'll put that one in place. Make sure, look at the top and the bottom. Come in. Make sure it can close. Okay, holding it gently, gently, gently. Always want to do it gently. Don't be in a hurry. Check the position of it again, making sure it can close. Okay. That's just wanting to wiggle on me right there a little bit. So it's like trying to keep it where I want it. A little bit of glue here, so I want to make sure I get that out of there. All right. Okay, so there we have the cover. We have the inside cover. We have the back inside cover. I'm going to open this up just a little bit here because this is wanting to, it's still a little wet. Just want to make sure I keep it flat. I don't want any puffering. So what I like to do at this point is I like to lay it now flat. Okay. And then I put something, so I'm going to use this roll of tape. Okay, let's see. Lay it down this way. Okay. I just want to keep it as flat as I can. So then I'm going to put this over here. And then now this, give this an opportunity to dry. So while that is drying, let me show you how I like to do the cluster. Okay, so I could either use the silver or the gold. I think I'm going to go with the silver. We don't need a big piece, we just need a little piece. Okay, so approximately, okay, like right about there. Yeah, okay. Big enough size. So what would you say that is? 3 inches, maybe 4? All right, now. And then I just start layering. It's just, a cluster is just about layers. So you probably know that already if you've watched my channel for a while. You've seen me make other clusters. It's all about the layers. Okay, now. Let me reposition some of this. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, so I'm going to slide this down. There we go. Okay, I can dry over there. Now, so this I know is going to be on the front. Okay, so I am just going to trim it down. A little bit more, okay. And then this is going to come on here, and I'm not sure, you know, so this is going to just be playing around, seeing what I'm going to do, how everything's going to look, what's going to go where. Just small little snippets. Like a crumb. I guess this is where the crumb definition could come in to play. If you happen to watch my video on defining all of the wordage that we use in crafting and quilting and slow stitching, then you'll see that I defined what a crumb was. So this is definitely an odd shape. This is definitely an odd shape. Okay, I don't want that. All right, let's come over here. Let's see if we can utilize this a little bit more. Okay. All right, like this. Take that off there. Okay. That, and now I just want a little bit of fiber, and I have this little bit of sheer lace here like that. I'm going to come in with a piece of that. Okay. I mean, this is really what you can just, I mean, this just really sparks your, and ignites that creative spark, is just letting your mind do whatever it wants to do, you know? All right, I love this little bit of gold going on here, so let me see how I can incorporate that. Okay, that one up there. And all of this is here, so I'm going to separate that. Separate this out. Okay. Just need a little bit of this. And there went my piece to the floor. A little bit of that. Okay. There we go. Perfect. And since the other piece went to the floor, I'm going to have to cut another piece. All right, so here we go. Here comes the layers. I'm going to put that on top of this sheer. I love that. Oh, I tell you. And then I want to put this piece here. I want the gold on top of that. I think I'm going to bring this down here over the fruit. I think I like the wording. to show a little more. And then I'm going to place this piece here. I'm going to place this piece here. And I'm going to put this piece here. Now what I like to do is take a little piece of felt, which is in the other room. And so let me see if I can find a piece right here in this stack of stuff that I have. Has to be a piece of felt running around. Otherwise, I will have to go to the other room. All right, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so here's the little piece of felt. All right, and then now we're going to sew. Okay. I get one of my needles. And I keep several needles now threaded and ready to go. So this one is definitely, this is like my, let me see if I have a different, yeah, this is more like for my beads. That's a very small, this one's a little bit better. Okay, it's not quite the one I wanted, but that's okay. Here's another one. I don't know which one that is, but okay. And I am going to take a needle book. The pen cushion is great for just my pens, but the sewing needles, I don't like that anymore with the thread hanging down and all that. Just really irritates me. So I'm like, I don't like it like that. Okay, so position these a little bit more what I want. Okay, I want to position this a little bit. I want that. And then I always like to angle. I like my things to angle. So this is like, okay, let's angle that one. There we go. Okay, now this is like what I want. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so here's the little piece of felt. I center it. And then that is your piece. Instead of using cardstock, since you're using fabric, fabric cluster, then you just use the felt and you sew everything to that, and that glues beautifully to the paper. I mean, it is like perfect. So I highly recommend, if you're gonna make a fabric cluster to put onto cardstock, then or paper, then use the felt backing as the base, and then you won't have any issues with it sticking. Because like I have the lace, as the back first, and then the fabric, and that lace can be hard for the glue to adhere. But as you see, then you have the perfect little foundation. Absolutely perfect. And then when I'm using the little fiber like this, I just go down a couple of spots and go across all of the strands, making sure, and it's, I'm not sewing anywhere else on any of the other lace, so it's all like flappy and flowing and free, and I love that. I love that whole look. Okay, so now that's stitched, and then on the back you can go straight through the felt. Again, it makes it super easy. And then you can put a couple of little knots in there. And there you go. That takes care of the cluster. All right, now what I like to do, is sometimes, I'm not always, but I might come in here and just put a little snippet like that, just make it a little bit more flowy, so it's not so just like straight. I like to do that, so that's just another little tip if you like that. Okay, so now I have the piece of cardstock. Look at how beautiful that is on that. So now you have that. One other thing I want to mention is round the corners. And I don't have my little corner rounder here, but you can just do that with your scissors. Just take and round the corners. Just make that a smooth, I don't know, just something about rounded corners just makes it look really, really clean and nice. Isn't that nice? Look at that. So much nicer. Okay, so now let me bring my piece back over. Close it up there. Okay, it's looking good. Beautiful. Absolutely love it. Perfect. Okay. And then everything inside looks really, really good. Just press that down again. This side, perfect. Looking beautiful. Okay, so now let me position this. So I can either keep it straight, just keep it straight, but then I can curve my cluster, or I can just again, I always like to just angle it a little bit. So I'm just going to angle it a little bit, and then I'm going to put my cluster here. I love it. So I'm going to take the cluster off first. I'm just going to glue this bottom piece down. And this paper pack is actually retired, and so I had to scour the internet to find it. I'm so happy that I was able to find it. I love this paper. It's so beautiful, cheerful as can be. Okay, so did I have it this way or did I have it this way? I think I have this one. All right, so let's put it down like that. Just want to keep those edges clean. And if you noticed, I have not inked any of this. Now I may come back later after I finish it and ink the whole edges of the journal itself, but most of the time I don't ink this when I do these. I just think it's already so beautiful just as it is. And that Aleene's Tacky Glue sets up really fast. Now when you're using felt, it really absorbs the glue. So I cover this whole surface with glue. It will just suck that right in. And so just be aware of that. Don't feel like you're using too much glue when it comes to this part. Okay. Now, again, before I actually lay it down, okay, here's my felt. I'm going to put my fingers on the corners of that so I can actually know where that is. Okay, and then I want this just like that. Okay, beautiful. So I did it where this lace is just peeking here, and that's just a little bit peeking there, and then you can see that little top of that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at how beautiful that is. Doesn't it make you just want to write in it and all your beautiful scriptures and inspiration and maybe prayers, your blessings? Oh my goodness, I can just think of so many beautiful things you could do with this. So if you would love to have this little journal, then head over to my Etsy shop, Markets of Sunshine. The link will be in the description below. And they're really affordable. I mean, you can see all the love and the time that I put into making these for you guys. And it's such an affordable price. They make beautiful gifts. So think of someone that you know that would love that. Now, we're not done, but it's going to have an extra little surprise on the front of it, but you have to wait and get it before you know what that's going to be. So thank you for joining me. Please watch the next video. And if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. Hit the like button, leave me a comment, let me know where you're watching from, if this helped you to ignite your creative spark, and share with anyone too as well. And stay safe and keep creating in the sunshine. And I will see you in the next video about how to ignite your creative spark.